and I'm trying to get in with my two steps.
So you're not doing anything now. You stay at home and do nothing.
I was. I got put like 3, 4 applications in.
School is more important, Mr. Ridley. You need to get your education, man. You need a high school diploma. At worst comes to worst, we can give you paperwork so you can do the schooling at home and get your GED online at a minimum, and we can give it to you for free. But I mean, you're at home you're not working, you're not going to school, you're doing nothing to make life better for yourself. Life doesn't get easier the older you get. It gets more difficult. If you don't have a job, if you don't have an education, you will end up nowhere. And life sucks without money. Trust me. Do you understand? Okay. Do you mind giving them the paperwork, please? We need to be somewhere, Mr. Ridley. I'm going to give you another couple weeks, 2.5 weeks. At the minimum, be enrolled to start working on your GED. Do you understand? I'm also going to drug test you. I'm not going to let you there's no smoking weed, none of this. Do you understand? If I find that you're using, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to keep you. Do you understand? All right.
One other issue, Judge, we would request, the complainant has made contact with the DA's office and let her thoughts be known on the case in a RIP call. And so we request that the no contact be just brought down to no threatening, harassing.
Who is it?
It's a girlfriend situation, Judge. And I spoke to DV about it. He reviewed it and said he was going to leave notes, that they had no opposition to that.
Yeah, or even something else.
And yes, that is correct. The RIP does say no conduct, so no threatening, harassing would be fine.
Okay. I will amend your bond condition, Mr. Ridley, to have no harassing contact with the complaining witness in this case. You're not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand? You need to start working on your education. Life doesn't get easier. Do you understand? That's my main concern. You graduate, you get your GED, we're all going to be jumping up and down because that's what you need. Without a high school diploma, you will literally make pennies when everybody else is making dollars. Do you understand? I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see you in 2 weeks. All right. Good morning, Ms. Arlene. Sir, you were charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. When to do probable cause, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On January 16, 2025 at 12:04 a.m., the officer observed a vehicle traveling the wrong way at Belfort Avenue in Harris County, Texas. A traffic stop was initiated, and the defendant, the driver, did not initially roll down his window. After multiple commands by the officers, the defendant finally rolled down his windows, and the officer observed the defendant to make further movements as if to conceal something. The defendant did not produce his driver's license, and the officer observed a strong odor of marijuana from the vehicle and his person. The officer observed the defendant to have a loaded firearm in his waistband, and the defendant stated he smoked earlier and was not the registered owner of the vehicle. The officer located in plain view, sticking out of the defendant's right pocket, a small package with training and experience is used to conceal marijuana. PC search was conducted, and the officer found 3.31 grams of marijuana under the driver's seat, and the defendant admitted the marijuana was his.
So Arlene, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. If you run his license, see if he has
Not
it.
eligible, Your Honor.
Okay. You are not allowed to drive. I am making that a condition of your bond. I don't care what's going on in your life. If you don't have a license and liability insurance, you are not allowed to drive. Do you understand? You will be signing a promise with me. Like I said, I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 people. If you don't have a license and insurance, do not drive. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Arlene? Okay, I'm going to have you fill out an application. I need to know everything about you, and I'll take a look to see whether you qualify. Don't pick up any new cases. Don't become a danger to my public, and above all else, do not drive. Do you understand? Okay, come on. Sir, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
One moment, Your Honor, it's loading. Okay. On January 15, 2025, the officer was conducting surveillance in the Greenpoint area, and the officer was in an unmarked vehicle in an apartment complex and observed 18-year-old defendant join up with two other males, co-defendants. He had already witnessed using a firearm. The three males walked around the apartment complex together, and the officer witnessed the defendant being given the firearm and wave it around. The two other males encouraged the defendant to shoot the gun, and the officer did not see the defendant fire the weapon, and the officer maintained visual until the officers were able to detain all three defendants at a nearby gas station. The gun was found in the co-defendant's waistband, and all three individuals were placed in custody.
Mr. Saavedra, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand? I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in contact with any. Did anyone else get arrested in this case? Or is it
Zero.
just him? I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm sending you for a test right now. You're to come back. If you fail the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand?
Your Honor, there's a co-defendant in court 4. The cause number is 2547734.
I'm going to send it? Okay, so let's just do this for now. Go ahead, take a seat for me. We're going to transfer your case to the other court because that's where it belongs. Okay, please. And you are charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, man.
Yes, Judge. On January 16th, 2025 at 2:02 a.m., the officer was dispatched in an attempt to locate. The officer was advised the defendant's sister was concerned for her well-being after not hearing from her. The defendant's sister stated her last known location was the Den, a bar, where she got a
The firearm case unfolds with the judge's focus on safety and influence. The officer's observations paint a picture of teens, emboldened by each other, passing a gun around like a toy. While the defendant didn't fire it, the potential danger is undeniable. The judge tries to balance accountability with prevention, emphasizing strict conditions, distancing him from co-defendants, and testing him immediately to disrupt a pattern before it hardens into something far more serious.
She got a flat tire. While searching the area, the officer located the defendant's vehicle at the entrance of the University of Houston, and a witness was flagged down to assist changing the defendant's flat tire. The witness stated he observed the defendant as the sole occupant of the driver's seat of the vehicle, and the surveillance video showed the defendant's vehicle in motion at the time the witness came into contact with the defendant. The defendant was identified with Texas driver's license, and the officer made contact and observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, red, glossy, bloodshot eyes, and slurred speech. The defendant admitted drinking a wine cooler earlier in the day, and standard field sobriety tests were conducted. The officer observed the defendant to be unsteady on her feet as she walked to the sidewalk, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 1 out of 4. The DIC was red and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.185 and 0.181.
And you're telling me there's video of her driving?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Levy, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Have you run your license and any prior DWIs?
Driver's license is eligible and no priors, Your Honor.
Okay. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. You will be randomly tested. If you consume alcohol or illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand, ma'am? Would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer? Okay, I'll give you an application. I'll take a look at your numbers, and if you qualify, we'll provide you a lawyer today. Okay, just everything's fine. Don't worry. Just be safe. Okay, just don't. Okay, I don't want to talk about the case. Let's have you fill out the application, then I'll have you talk to a lawyer today. Okay, ma'am? Please.
Right this way.
Sir, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 15th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to Texas Southern regarding a male on campus possibly carrying a firearm. The caller provided the name and dispatch ran through arms and located a recent picture and a trespass notice. The officer observed the defendant walk into the library, immediately walked out accompanied by a second black male, and the officer attempted to detain the defendant, and the defendant ran northbound, ran through an apartment complex. The officer drove through the complex and set up a perimeter and observed the defendant run out of the complex. The officer exited a marked patrol vehicle in full uniform, drew a duty weapon, and ordered the defendant to the ground. The defendant ignored the commands and continued running and was assisted to the ground by the officer. The defendant stated he ran due to being scared. The defendant evaded approximately 0.4 miles.
What was he doing wrong?
So there was a report of a possible firearm on campus, and the caller provided the name, and he was attempting to investigate that, and he was just trying to detain him to
They
investigate.
gave the description of him.
They gave
In this moment, the evading arrest charge raises deeper questions about perception and response. The officer approached based on a name match and campus safety concerns, but to the defendant, it spiraled into fear and flight. The judge's reaction is cautious, not condemning immediately, but ensuring safeguards. By appointing counsel and reviewing details more closely, the court signals that even in high alert scenarios, due process and public safety must stay balanced.
they just gave the name, and then they
A name
ran
of-
that through arms, and they found a picture of that person.
So the caller gave the name of Mr. Newman.
Yes, Judge. Gave Mr. Newman's name. The officer ran that name and found a picture, and then observed him leaving the library and attempted to detain him.
Yes.
And then he ran.
There was also a current trespass notice for the defendant as well.
Yes, Judge.
From TSU.
From the arms or TSU.
Yes, Judge. They found for TSU through arms.
Mr. Newman, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Let's do this. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer today because there's several things that we need to look at. So do you mind reaching out to the MAC for Mr. Newman? Mr. Newman, assuming we go forward with the case, you're not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand? I'm
Yes,
making
sir.
that a condition of your bond.
Yes, sir.
If I find that you have any weapons, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to put you in jail.
Yes, sir.
Just all I want is my community to be safe. I'm not asking for much. You understand? Okay. I'm going to have you sign a reset, Victoria, then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box, sir. Okay? So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 2 days that you've done. You need to understand, sir, that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. When you plead guilty, you give up the right to appeal, meaning that you can never change this. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
You are giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. Do you understand these rights that you're giving up?
Yes,
You also need to understand that there are no more proverbial slaps on the wrist. From now on, you are facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up in here. And if you're not in this country with permission, you do anything short of more than 6 hours, you will get an ICE detainer. So if I were you, I would never, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, get into a car and drive. Do you understand?
yes, I
How do you
understand.
plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will sentence you to 3 days in jail, give you credit for the 2. I'm going to suspend your ability to drive
Here,
for
sentencing becomes a stark warning. The judge stresses that a first DWI might carry leniency, but consequences escalate quickly, especially for non-citizens. His tone is firm but not hostile, aiming to shock the defendant into understanding how fragile his situation is. The message is simple. One more misstep brings mandatory jail time and possibly federal immigration action. It's the kind of moment meant to jar someone into permanently changing their habits.
ability to drive for 90 days. Do not drive, otherwise you're going to be right back over here, sir. What does your client do for a living, sir? What does your client do for a living?
He does the carpentry work there, labor work, the framing, that kind of thing. Home framing.
I'm